So if you want to watch along and listen to Dax Harwood break down a match between DIY and the Revival / FTR in NXT from Takeover 2, you want to get on your Peacock, okay? You want to go to In Ring. You want to go to down about 17 screens to NXT, move over about 45 screens to Takeovers, hit that, and I believe it's season 3, episode 4. Now, it is Peacock, so if you hit a wrong button, just throw your TV away and get a new one because it's over. So our timestamp is 55 minutes and 43 seconds. Are you ready, Dax Harwood?
Hey, I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, let me mute mine real quick as well, since I told you to mute yours. In 3, 2, 1, play.
So I know we have the volume down for right now, but I think this was the time that they first really introduced the DIY name. I think they had talked about it and said it on TV, but they finally got their first merch, and they had the opportunity to really show character work here. That they were guys who had started from the bottom, and now we hear, as apparently some of the great poets say. And Hunter loved those guys. He had an affinity for those guys. Me and Dan, all the respect I have in the world for Hunter, Cash and I were never Hunter guys. Those two were Hunter guys. We were never, we didn't have his number. I remember one time, Tommaso and I both kind of got injured at the same time. And this was after this match, actually. And Tommaso was on the shelf for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. And I actually got a knee scope. That's where they found the button in my knee. And I remember Tommaso sending me a text and saying, "Hey, did Hunter get up with you?" I said, "No, I've never talked to Hunter on the phone." He said, "Oh, he just checked on me to make sure I was okay." And I just told him I was a little banged up. And I'm like, this motherfucker, I just had knee surgery and he didn't send me a text. So that's kind of when I realized me and Cash, we were never going to be Hunter guys. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. No big deal. But, to say that it, might have hurt my feelings, didn't hurt my feelings, that would be a lie. But Tommaso and Ciampa were Hunter guys. Hunter loved them from the beginning. And I think this feud, these series of matches we had with them kind of showed that. But I do think that Hunter thought and felt that he could put anybody in the ring with me and Cash, and we would bring out the best in them, while also making sure people knew and felt that we were just as on par as they were. And I also know that he felt that we were so unselfish. We were never going to make any of the matches about ourselves. We were going to make the match the most important part of the story. So even though we weren't necessarily Hunter guys, I still think he had a little bit of respect for us.
And of course, when we first press play, we see the promo backstage where the DIY is introduced, #DIY, and a great package kind of recapping your ascent to the titles.
Speaking of great packages, Blue Chew.
There you go. And also that beautiful simultaneous title throw over the shoulder by the Revival. Amazing piece of choreography. And then we have the build-up. We're watching the package. It had a great build-up because part of that was that Gargano and Ciampa are starting to be taken seriously. They're starting to get steam, and they could actually challenge the champions, the Revival, who were on a roll at this point.
I think, underneath it subconsciously, Cash and I were worried about them coming in because we had said they were just bingo hall wrestlers, or they were, VFW hall wrestlers.
Yeah, they were seated guys,
Yeah, and we were actually top guys who had wrestled in main events, had traveled the country in front of thousands and thousands of people and not a couple of hundred at these VFW halls. But subconsciously in the back of our minds, we were worried about these guys because they had been in a role and they had defeated us once before in a non-title match for, I think, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So we had a lot of doubt in our mind. Quote unquote, that they would be able to defeat us. But as characters, we would not show that doubt, and we would just keep burying them as minor league talents to us major league top guys.
With DIY in the ring, you can see them come out and literally be astonished at the crowd there. It's such a great crowd, and it's sold out, and they're soaking it in. And we're getting ready for the entrance of your NXT Tag Team Champions, the Revival.
Johnny just did his best Sean impression. The guy's probably trying to show off for Sean a little bit. Johnny, what the hell? Maybe I should come out and do my Brett gimmick with my jacket.
You ever seen Orange Cassidy do the Brett gimmick with the jacket?
I have not.
You have to ask him. It's hilarious.
Well, if he's making fun of Brett, I might get hot with him.
No, it's the Orange Cassidy version, you know?
I'm just kidding.
Here we go. Dash and Dawson, the Revival. Man, what a moment for you, right?
Yeah, a huge moment for me. In front of, we were in the Staples Center, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Yep. And Barclays. Yes, at Staples. That's Staples. Honestly, that's where you and I first met. Did you know that we were on a bus? I think this is right.
No, that was
Is that
was
Barclays
New York.
too?
That was New York.
Okay,
That was New York after the Goldberg Hall of Fame.
All right, well, fuck me then.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So yeah, I just pushed the guys. They I guess they decided they were going to hold their ground and stand on the deal. But this is our entrance. This is our time. We gave them their moment in the ring, and they didn't want to reciprocate that. So for just spur of the moment thing, if you're not going to get out of my way and give me a moment, I'm going to push you out of the way and make my own moment.
And you are making your moment, of course. Referee just Drake.
Drake, yep.
Yep, and we've got the match about to begin. What was the story you're trying to tell in this match?
Well, first of all, before we go into that, I just want to say that I missed that fucking name, The Revival. We came up with everything. We came up with the name. We came up with the hashtag, the slogans, the top guys, the shadow machine. I mean, we came up with all that stuff, and none of it I can use now, or we can't use any of it now. But so I missed that. The story that we're trying to tell is that these guys are on a roll. And we've been burying them the last few weeks as, like I said, being minor league talents. We're major league stars. We're trying to show that we're not super worried about them. But obviously, in the back of our minds, they have beat us once before, and we're not going to let that happen again. Excuse me. And, the most important thing is it's for the belts. The match is for the belts. And I think sometimes that gets lost with a lot of wrestlers. I think they forget that the objective of a match is to win, not to go out there and put on this beautiful display of a performance. You have to subconsciously let the people know that first and foremost, you're trying to win. You're trying to get an advantage. You know what I mean? And I think, as you will see in this match, that's one of the first things that we do. I want to say we can't hear it. It's on mute now, but I want to put over Tom and Corey, man. They are such an underrated what a fucking lockup, dude. They're such an underrated commentary team. They would always take time with me and never got annoyed with me that I had notes and notes and notes about the stories that I wanted to tell, where I wanted to go, false finishes, and how I wanted them to be portrayed. They never, ever got annoyed with me. They actually embraced that, and they loved that. And they were so seamless and so smooth working together, dude. I can't say enough good about that commentary team.
Yeah, there's no predicting how great Corey Graves became at commentating after his career was as a wrestler was cut short. He was great on the Rumble, and he's great every time, and he's very underrated.
For sure. Now there we go. That's the first part of the psychology of the match is me reaching out for the tag. We're wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We're taking our time and we're wrestling, trying to gain an advantage. But as a tag team, the objective, as far as being in a team, is that tag, that you've always got that tag, and you got to put the gimmick of the tag over. And that's what I did. Even in a moment of being down, I go for the tag and I can't reach cash, but at least the people know that my objective at that point was try to get my fresh partner in the ring. And when you have a tag match is essentially just a gimmick match. You just got to figure out how to work that match differently every time. And the gimmick of the match is the tag, And so you want to get that over at the very beginning. always. And there was a multiple of things that me and Cash do to get that over, whether we make the tag or we tease the tag like we did here. But that's a thing that a lot of people forget about is the tag. You have to put that over, or it essentially becomes two singles matches, you know?
It also comes across from you guys, and something Triple H does well in booking for WWE now is you guys are trying to win. That reaching for the tag is just trying to get that advantage. You're always trying to win.
Absolutely. Trying to gain that advantage. A snatch on the side headlock, dude, executed to perfection. I love the way Tommaso runs me, backs me into the ropes. He puts his whole body in front of me and pushes me there. It's not just that side thing where we shuffle backwards. Now we're wrestling around. I got the chop earlier. He tried the chop and I bailed out like a little bitch ass heel, and he finally gets me back. And now what we have here is him getting me back tenfold. Here comes Cash. He takes one. The referee's with Cash, and something that should be a disqualification where the illegal guy hits me. We created a moment where the referee is with Cash. He doesn't see that. So that's how you make the rules work in your favor, man. You can't just be lazy and say, oh, I'm just going to hit you and not let the ref do anything. You know what I mean? We created a moment there where Cash fed in, took a bump, and the ref's like, no, the illegal guy, we got to get him out. He tries to get Cash out. Behind his back are these baby faces who are, ping ponging me back and forth. And that's how simple it is. You don't have to be lazy and just negate the rules. Use the rules to your advantage. And right now we went to a big high spot before and we slow it right back down. Again, I'm going for the tag. Cash, again, is trying to create a distraction to the referee. The referee is admonishing him. Behind the referee's back, I pull the hair, which is illegal. And so many guys do that, and girls do that in front of the referee, and there's no heat to that. The heat is creating a moment where the referee goes with your partner so you can get that shortcut. You can pull his hair and bump him down,
And it's a different style, not to share anybody, but like that's not Rick Knox in there refereeing. Like you have a whole different approach in NXT than you do in AEW. Do you not?
Yep. The NXT, they preached, and this is where we kind of learned it from it and got it from, but you had to follow the rules. You had to make the referee mean something, because if you don't listen to the referee, why even tag in and out? You know what I mean?
Right,
just do whatever you want. My favorite part so far about the match, aside from using the referee to his full advantage, is the fact that we have not had two singles matches. So many tag matches you see where two guys will start off, then there's a break and they tag out, and then the two other guys. That's two singles matches, but that isn't a true tag team. Me and Cash have seamlessly, God, this sounds like I'm putting myself over and I apologize, but we have seamlessly come in and out with tagging and allow these guys to take back over on us. If we stop them for one moment, and that's all the quote unquote shine is. Like I've said a million times, shine is not a real thing. I'm going to shine you up. But what shine is you put this baby face at a disadvantage just so he has something to overcome. That's it. And he keeps overcoming these obstacles. That's all it is. As you've seen, we've put Johnny down a couple of times and he keeps coming back. He keeps overcoming those obstacles, just like right here where he slid through my leg, where we tried to double team. He overcame that. We're going to try to double team him. And then here comes his best friend to save the day. And again, like I've said many times, there's so much power in this hand, putting this hand up and putting on the brakes. You know what I mean? And we try to go fisticuffs with them, but we can't. We can't out wrestle them. We can't out quick them. We can't out fight them. So what does that do? That embarrasses us. They're almost going to hit their finish. They're going for their finish here. But as a chicken shit heel, I have to pull my partner out. And that's how you set the tone and set the mood for who's the baby face and who is the heel. Sacrifice looking cool to make your baby faces.
Gargano with a huge dive to the outside, and Ciampa as well. It just really brings to mind the contrasts in styles. Before that sequence, you guys were tagging so often, just many, many tags. But that particular sequence, because of the slow build at the beginning, now the fans are on their feet.
Right. And if you could see the little nuances of being a tag team, Cash pushed me out of the way. So he sacrificed himself because he loves me so much as a brother, as a partner, as a best friend. He pushed me out of the way and took the brunt of that dive. I did get dove on by Ciampa, but at least he tried to save me. At least the people can think, oh my God, This is a partnership. This is a brotherhood. And again, now here comes the tag. You know what I mean? So the illegal guy is trying to take advantage. Now the legal guy's trying to take advantage. They're trying to catch the number game up. We have 5 seconds, but we've made all this legal by tagging behind his back. You know what I mean?
And you don't see that much. Like, you left the ring, ran around, got back in the ring, and tagged. That's not something you see a lot. That's right. pretty fun.
Absolutely. Obviously, we took that from some parts of Arn and Tully, Arn and Zbyszko, and here's our gear change. We've been embarrassed. We've been, we've gotten the shit kicked out of us. But more than that, more than getting punched or kicked or dove on, they've embarrassed us. They've beat us at every moment. And now we finally use the numbers game to get Ciampa down. And our gear change came in the form of a tag, 5 seconds, all legal, all within the rules. But you think as a fan, come on, guys, did you have to do that? Did you have to punch him for 5 seconds straight? You know what I mean? Then after the gear change, after the shitty cutoff, then we drop our beautiful move, the drop to a hold elbow. Right. We drop to hold that's when we put our synchronized tag move in. The other stuff was all shitty stuff, within the rules, within the parameter of a tag team rules, but we didn't hit our good move, quote unquote, good move, until after we had got the heat on ourselves. That's what heels do. You still show you're a competent wrestler, but you don't show you're a competent wrestler first and then try to eye gouge. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you don't out wrestle the baby tequila family and wrestling, right, family tequila wrestling, whatever the fuck we're called. But you don't out wrestle the baby face and then cheat. You know what I mean?
Right. You use that advantage to try to win the match after.
And to be honest, if you see the shit we did, nothing we did was cheating. It's just perceived as cheating because we made the tags. We just maybe took advantage of an opportunity. And here's a hope spot. My favorite part of a tag match that gets overlooked is the hope spot. Instead of having that guy come up, elbow me 3 times, hit the ropes, back elbow, shut him back down, we give him this elaborate hope spot. And if you see everything that happened in that hope spot was nothing was offensive. It was all defensive stuff. His enziguri was a defensive move.
That's classic Revival right there.
Yes, cut him off.
Goes for the tag, and nobody's there.
So we build up all this drama, right, for the tag, and he fights back valiantly from underneath. And then after we shit him out of the tag, like a cheap, shitty chicken shit heel, then we hit our big move. Then we hit our beautiful move, the assisted gourd buster. You know what I mean? So it's not just the hope spot isn't a hold, stop him, then hit a move like so many other people do. It's creating these dramatic moments and making the people get behind this valiant babyface who's trying to fight back, who's trying to make a difference in this match and trying to get his best friend and get out of here so his best friend can hopefully win the match for him.
A beautiful gourd buster too. And now you've got Ciampa in trouble. He can't make the tag. The time he tried, you pulled his partner off the apron, and he is in the wrong corner, as we've heard so many times.
And again, here we go. If you look at our matches, the Revival matches, our heat, quote unquote heat, was virtually all hope spots at the perfect time, at the right time. Not just the babyface being up. We had it here where we made the tag work. We made the attempt for the tag, the dramatic part of the match. We're holding on. The babyface still tries to fight back from a defensive position, and then we stop him. The numbers game catches up, and now we're taking more and more advantage, and we're getting more and more control here. But that's the drama, man. It's not the moves. The drama is making the people want something, take it away, but then at the right moment, giving it to them. You know what I mean?
Great shot of Sasha and Becky Lynch watching the match.
Yep, front row.
And it's interesting. People aren't on their feet yet, but they're all kind of leaning forward. They're all leaning forward. They're all clapping. You can tell you guys are building something here.
And here's what Meltzer and a lot of the other Alvarez and all the dirt sheet writers would call a rest hold. It is not a rest hold. Our business is based around holds. The only reason we run high spots is because someone is trying to get out of a hold. That's it. You work the hold. You don't rest. You work the hold. You make it look like you're trying to cut his head off. Again, here we go. Another ref distraction. As you can see, here we go. The backdrop into the false tag, the false hot tag. And so many times, you know what happens. The tag teams And there we go, real quick. We shitted them out of something and we're heels and then hit our beautiful move there. You know what I mean? So that's how you
Shades of Demolition right there.
Yes, yeah. Shades of Demolition, Axe and Smash, where we got our next names from. But, so many times for a false tag, you see it's the easy thing where there's the hold from the heel. The babyface is reaching for the tag. The illegal heel just steps in. The referee goes to him. And then there's the tag behind the referee's back. But you got to create scenarios around each other and around certain movements and moves to make people believe. And they really believed that was the hot tag for a second and a half. They believed it until they realized what had just happened.
Yeah, I mean, your point about this is about holds true, because in real life, you've seen more fights ended with a chin lock than you have with a springboard cutter.
Yes, exactly.
Man, this match is taken off, and Ciampa still has not made the tag. So when he does, it's going to be on. If he does.
I wish right there we had actually kept Ciampa down and not let him fired up on my forearms. If he would have just sold the whole time and not fired up, this would have meant so much more because it would have come out of nowhere. But here we go. We finally get it, and the people are ready for it.
Ciampa with the tag. Here comes Gargano. House of Fire.
Yeah, House of Fire. And that's the thing is so many people forget a hot tag. The reason it's called a hot tag is because you've been watching your brother, your best friend, your sister, whoever, get the shit kicked out of them for 5, 6, 7 minutes, and you come in and you're ready to pay it all back. So Gargano, who can do, as you can see, all these beautiful moves, he does it. The first thing he did was come in and kick ass. Then he transitioned into beautiful moves.
He's smooth as hell, isn't he?
He's very smooth. Absolutely. Yeah. I also fault him and Sami Zayn for the oh my God expression when people kick out. They started that shit. It was cool when they did it, but now everybody does it. The oh my God, I can't believe it. My hands are going through my hair right now.
Right.
And here we go. He's making his comeback. We cut him off, stop him for just a little second, but he fights off both heels as a valiant babyface would, and he gets the upper hand.
Hits that beautiful slingshot through the ropes that he likes to do. Yeah, you guys are really telling the story here. But now Gargano is got the kind of the fans behind him. What do you call this part of a match right here?
I don't know. Well, this is where we start getting to the false finishes, make the people confuse them. Where it's going, what we're going to do, take things away from them they think we're going to get, and here we go. Another numbers game, boom, where we don't just cut the baby face off as great wrestling heels. You know what I mean? We are great wrestling heels, but we use it as a ducking, dodging. Takes two of us to get him down and go for the cover. The fake out DDT, which obviously I stole from my daddy Arn. But that's the beauty of being a heel, is you got to think of creative ways to look competent, but at the same time not make the babyface look less than competent. Here we go. Ciampa, the illegal guy, grabs the illegal revival, which is all legal. I try the same thing, but Ciampa has studied me, thought better of it, got his move in. Cash pulls down Gargano, and we build the drama here and make the people believe that this is going to be it because Cash is being held by the foot, but he finally kicks Gargano off, and he makes the save. That point of the match was a Matt Bloom suggestion to hold the foot and reaching for Dan. I'm so glad that I was open to listening to someone who had a great idea.
You may have used it since.
Oh, yes. And then here we go. We got the baby face down for a second after that save. Tried to double team, but it was thwarted. What a word. By Gargano, the illegal baby face who hit the illegal heel. No illegal has touched a legal in front of the referee.
Oh, wow.
And I dare someone to go watch it and prove me wrong. But that's what made the people believe, is that spear from the illegal babyface to the illegal heel, where there was a small package. And
the people are now ready.
They're ready for it. They're standing.
They are into it. There's clapping. You can just tell by looking at the screen. Here we have the head-to-head face-off.
And watch the difference in the selling between the babyface and the heel. Ciampa is being strong as a babyface and taking it, but also selling. Me, I was using my whole body to sell everything and being kind of over dramatic with it. And that's kind of what, heels are supposed to do a bit. Oof, and that slap sucked. The people were ready for it. And he fired up at the perfect time, dude. Straight right hand. We're going to go for the shatter machine, but it's countered into a roll up. And I think that's where a lot of a lot of wrestlers get lost. They think all false finishes have to be these big, huge bombs. They don't. And here we go. This was my contribution to the match.
They hit their double kick on you, or on Cash in the middle of the ring.
People are so excited, but nope.
Wait a second. That's not the finish. That's not the end of the match. He counted to 3, but he discovered, by the way, sir, great timing on the leg throw over the bottom rope.
Thank you.
The leg was on the bottom rope in split second. Very believable. The timing was impeccable. And now the match continues.
And they double teamed the illegal guy, which is totally fine. That's within the rules. This from the foot on the ropes on was all the brilliance of Hunter. And I can't wait for some of the faithful fans to tag Tony and, rat me out for putting Tony or Hunter over, but this was his brilliance. Obviously, we thought we should win by either a cheap roll up or the shatter machine, but he said, no, I think we break their hearts tonight and we get the finish we get.
Which is a finish we've seen a few times.
Right.
With
Yes.
the FTR and Revival. So now it's you in the ring and you're going for the legs and you hold him down.
The stomp.
Cash jumping off.
And he told us whenever he was explaining it to us, he said, everything you do from the foot on the ropes on, we had to accelerate right after the foot on the ropes. But after that, everything he said, take your time on. That's another, lesson that I learned, where a lot of wrestlers say, less is more is more, but taking your time and making every moment, every step, every beat in a match means something. That was the beauty of that last minute and a half of this match.
And that's it. Scott Dawson, our hero, Dax Harwood, gets him in, I guess, the reverse figure 4, right?
Reverse figure 4, inverted figure 4, yep.
Cash is imploring to Gargano while he's in it, just tap out. It's over. Tap out. And eventually, against his best interests, he does, and you guys retain in front of that huge appreciative crowd.
Yep. And that is a perfect example of losing and getting over. You know what I mean? The sympathy that people had for these guys after the match was over was incredible, and the heat we had, even though the fans were now starting to respect us as wrestlers, the heat that we had for this finish was incredible, which made Toronto, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, made Toronto even more special, and that's what storytelling is all about. It's not always about a definitive 1, 2, 3, or everything has to have a finality. Finality? Yes. Right then and there. Everything, not everything. A lot of things will lead to something later. And that's what this match did, lead to Toronto later.
Because they weren't exactly the most popular tag team. Like, they weren't exactly what you call over at this point until this match. This match really helped them a lot. And
honestly, dude, we weren't over. They weren't over at the end of this match either. They were almost there. They were getting there. I think they got over for the NXT audience. They got over after Toronto. But to be honest, I think after Toronto is when we got over too. But, I think a lot of fans, but also a lot of wrestlers too, misunderstand what being over is. There's moments where you're getting over, and there's times where you're getting over and you feel that momentum. And a lot of wrestlers and a lot of fans too, they confuse that with being over. Being over is when the fans care about you, care about who you are. You know what I mean? That's when you're finally over. So there's a difference between Bret Hart being over in Saskatchewan, Canada in 1992, where he's being respected as a great wrestler when he beat Ric Flair for the belt, and then being over at WrestleMania 10 when he beat Yokozuna for the belt. There's a huge difference there. The people wanted him to win at WrestleMania 10 because they cared about him. They loved him. They missed him being their champion. So that,
And look at the crowd with the appreciation for Gargano and Ciampa. Like, you guys left, you guys posed on the ramp, and then they had the moment. And the crowd, it wasn't forced, it wasn't put upon. The crowd gets their feet in a huge appreciation. And we appreciate this too. Dax Harwood breaking down the match like nothing I've ever heard. I just can just turn off my mic and let you go. Yeah. Is awesome. What do you think about when you think about this match now?
I think, although the matches with Gable and Jordan will go down as some of my favorite, obviously, and will be remembered for a long time for great tag team matches, I think this is where our legacy finally started to build. I think this is where our legacy and the Revival were taken seriously as potentially the best tag team in the world at this time. And it is one of those moments that I can always look back on and I can say, this is, again, the matches with American Alpha are where we showed our athleticism, how good we were as a working tag team, but this match here and the match in Toronto is where I can say, this is where our legacy begins for being a great tag team, a great storytelling tag team. So I look back on it with a lot of reverence and a lot of love. And I'm so thankful to those guys for wanting to work as hard as we did and always trying to match us as far as intensity goes, athleticism goes, storytelling, and also wanted to be the best match of the night every single night.